I was raised at the Pueblo of Laguna by my grandparents. My grandfather was born in 1904 and was from the Pueblo of Zuni. My grandmother was born in 1903 from the Pueblo of Laguna. These very special individuals hold a special place in my heart. My mother still resides at the Pueblo. She gave me life and is a very special lady to me. To this very day, I don't know my biological father. I don't even know his name. It's a reason to be bitter. But my grandparents gave me a life that I would not trade for anything. And in that upbringing, they've given me some very key lessons. And there's two offerings of those lessons that I want to share with you today. Before I do that, I also want to give you some context in which those lessons were expressed to me. In our Pueblo teachings, one of the things my grandmother always shared with me was, it's not about you. But she gave me the opposite, a worldview. All people, life, land in this world that our mother carries us in. That's the purpose. Whatever's left over, then we might get. She also talked about two very important tools. The first tool was prayer. But prayer not in the sense of religion, prayer in the sense of an intentional, positive mind and heart. Spirituality in the context of collective consciousness. So think about those things as we go through this. So the first offering that she gave was chase perfection. You will never catch it. But in this pursuit, you will be doing your best. You'll learn new things. You'll identify new opportunity. You will be humbled, but you will also be inspired. How she made that relevant to me was through education. She told me, you need to get your education. Not only your formal education, but you need to have your community, cultural, and family education. She also said, in this education, that is going to be a resource for one of these days. You're going to find that person that you're going to love, that you're going to want to spend the rest of your life with. When that happens, you're no longer number one. She becomes number one even before the children. Education became my tool to being a provider. I have found my dear wife, Tanya, that I love very much. The second offering that my grandmother gave was choose to be better. Growing up in the Pueblo of Laguna, being half African American, I was called names. I had rocks thrown at me, called little black this, little black that. Hey, little nigger. I heard that. And many of those times, my grandmother was standing right there with me. My grandfather passed away when I was about 8, so all these years it was me and my grandma. So every night, in the house, in our home, in the room that we slept in, my grandmother's bed laid north and mine laid west. I would hear her say the same prayers every night in our native language and in English. And one of the elements she would always ask for was the courage and the strength to forgive, to love, to be respectful, to be mindful, but that others would also do the same. Little did I know that she was preparing me for a decision I was going to have to make many years later. In 2007, the people of my Pueblo sat me as the first lieutenant governor. And in our system, the governor, the lieutenants, their staff officials were also called Nicegia. And in our language, Nicegia means father. And so one day this individual comes up to me and says, Nicegia, can you give me a ride? And, you think you have $5 I can borrow? The person that was asking me was one of the individuals in our childhood that was probably the harshest to me. Just a bully, just a bully. But when he asked me that question, it was like a hailstorm in my head. Back to that moment, all these thoughts and those experiences coming back. He's actually the one that threw the rock and hit me right here. That hailstorm brought back that pain. But I was now in a position, in a situation, I had to make a decision. Do I be bitter or do I be better? I chose to be better. And I said, let me give you a ride, and got him to his destination and said, here's $5. I didn't loan it to him, I just gave it to him. Wished him well. My experiences may not be unique, but my path and the context of my framing are. Every one of you have probably had an opportunity to choose between being bitter or better. And as you journey on in your life, you're going to have many more of those opportunities. Choose to be better. Goodness, core values, the need for your preciousness, for your contribution, is unique to none, but inherent in all. If we can draw on those gifts, imagine the impact we're going to have to society, to economic advancement, to raising our children, to taking care of our grandparents, to our own personal development. Imagine it. In our Pueblo teachings, probably similar to many of you, we're taught prayer is powerful, but prayer is not a wishing well. Your human spirit, not your human being, your human spirit, we have to do our part. And I differentiate human being from human spirit. Human being is very limited. Our human spirit is unlimited. And that human spirit is that spirit, very spirit in which we are all connected, whether you're sitting right here in front of me or you're in the other side of the world. We're all connected. And as I started, you saw me make this gesture. I drew on your spirits and all the spirits here. As I conclude, I release that because I ask for your help. I release my collective consciousness back to you and leave you with the words and the offerings of my grandmother. Chase perfection. Choose to be better. Thank you.